This is my parents' 2006 Jeep Wrangler that we paid only $3,000 for a couple months ago. I've slowly been rebuilding it for them and turning it into their ideal Jeep. Over the past few months, we've done a lot of work to this thing. First off, we got it running because when we bought it, it did not run. And once we got it running, it did not run very well. We also got that fixed. And then I also fixed a lot of the interior problems. It was missing a lot of stuff in the interior. It needed a radio, it needed carpet, it needed some sound deadening on the floor. The door panels needed fixed. It needed a lot of work in the inside. The last thing we need to do is fix the color. When I was originally shopping for a Jeep for them, I was looking for a yellow one. They preferred the look of the yellow ones. Yellow is my mom's favorite color, but this deal was too good to pass up. We got a really good deal on this thing, got it running right, and they love it. The one thing they don't love is the color. Along with that, there's some body damage on it. There's no rust or anything, but there's a lot of dents and dings that we need to fix before we paint this thing. Some of the more notable damage are these doors. They are very beat up. These doors aren't even original to this Jeep. On the inside, they're actually black. So we know that this is not original to this Jeep. The hood also has a lot of damage and dings on it. It looks like someone stood on it in the middle and put a really big dent right in the middle. I have an idea to fix that because if not, we would need to replace this hood completely. It's hard to get big dents like that out. It's just a lot of time and effort that we could be putting towards something else. And speaking of time, that's our major thing we need to worry about for this, because this is going to be a surprise for them. They are on vacation for 6 days, so I have about 5.5 days to take this thing apart, paint it all, and put it back together in time for them to get home as a surprise. It seems simple enough, but we're not going to be painting just the outside. We also want to paint underneath the hood, in the door jambs, on the other side of the doors. I want to replace these fenders because they like the stock fenders better, so we got to find some of those. Same thing with the rear. Back here, they want some stock fenders. We got a lot of work ahead of ourselves, and we got to get it done before they get back, because if not, they're going to wonder where their Jeep is and why it's all taken apart. So we better start getting to work now. We're going to take apart this thing right now and then start working on the body work. Let's get to it. Well, at this point, I probably could just remove the tub and make it a little bit easier on myself. But I'm not gonna do that because I don't have a way to get this tub off. I don't have a lift or anything like that. So this is just how it's gonna have to be. Removing all this stuff only took around 3.5 hours by myself. I think I could speed it up a little bit more. I had a couple issues, mainly with the grill. This grill was a little bit of a pain because it was attached to this and a lot of these bolts were stuck. This bolt right here actually broke off, so that caused a bit of an issue. Other than that though, everything else is pretty self-explanatory and kind of easy. Just time consuming. Took the cowl off, the hood, the 2 fenders, the grill, moving the back, took off these side fenders, got all this off in the back. I don't know what's going on with this right here. Some previous owner put a bunch of sound deadening in there. I don't know what the issue is. I think I'm gonna keep this trunk hatch on and just move it whenever I paint the inside of it, because I need to paint all the inside of the hinges and stuff. And I feel like that's just gonna be easier if I keep it on. I took the top all the way off, that way I don't get any overspray on it, and I also folded down this front windshield. Did you know you could do that? You can do that to all Jeep models, I do believe, but I definitely know on a TJ you can do that. I don't know why you would do it, because it makes everything else kind of flimsy, but it is an option. And I folded this down because I'm gonna be painting the inside here. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna use the actual base coat and paint I have for the rest of the Jeep, because I don't wanna waste on this, because most of this is covered by plastics. You see a little bit of the silver right here, that just right over the dash. You can barely see it. So I might just use some kind of close spray paint that will match this. Obviously sand it down and spray it with clear coat and all that kind of stuff, but this isn't gonna be hit by direct sun, and I don't think you're gonna be able to tell a difference from the paint colors, so I'll probably just use spray paint for that. Driver's side is in pretty good shape. There's only one little dent in this back corner I'll fix. Back end is okay. Passenger corner has a little bit of dent in it too, along with up here. There's a dent right here, and a dent right here that looks like someone dented it when they removed the door. So we'll fix that. My plan right now is to get all the body work done on this, paint it, and then move it out of the garage, and we can work on everything else. I'm still looking for fenders somewhere kind of close to me. The closest ones I could find are like 2 hours away, and I just don't want to waste 4 hours of my day going to pick up fenders. But that is an option if we need to go 4 hours out of the way to get one. And the hood also, I got some dents to fix on that, and along with fixing that middle section I talked about. We'll do that after this tub is painted. So let's do the body work and get to painting. This looks awesome. They're gonna love it so much. This yellow, perfect color. I got this paint from Eastwood. They are now mixing OEM colors and it ships right to your door. Already ready to spray. I didn't have to do anything to this besides open it and spray it. A million different paint code colors. Any kind of car you have, they'll have the paint code for it. All you have to do is send them your paint code color. It's on the side of your door, and then they'll mix it up and ship it right out to you. Very easy to do, and this paint color covered very well. It covered it mostly in one coat, which is pretty unheard of for a yellow. I just put a second coat on there because that's what it called for, and it looks really perfect. No light spots or anything. Their link is in my description. You guys can check them out if you're looking for paint supplies or any other supplies. I have a lot of their tools, and I love pretty much everything I use from them. I use a lot of stuff. My welder is Eastwood. My paint guns are Eastwood. I painted this whole thing with an Eastwood gun, and I think it looks pretty good. Now, it's not perfect by any means. This is a garage. This is not a paint booth. I try to do as best as I can with what I have. But for the most part, on a Jeep Wrangler that's going to be off-roading, this is a very good paint job. Couple little runs. There's one right here and one right here. And that's because I was trying to paint around these hinges, so a lot of paint gets built up right there, and that's why I have those runs. No big deal. I can buff those out pretty easily. Those are pretty much the only runs I have, and that's pretty much it. This thing looks really good. These are the doors that came off of this Jeep. They are in pretty rough shape. It's going to take me at least a day to fix them, get all the dents out of them. There's some rust spots. There's some cracking I got to fix with the welder. I'm not going to be able to get this done in time. I do have a set of half doors on my parts Jeep, though. They are in better shape. There's only a few dents on them that I can fix pretty quickly. So in the meantime, I have those ready. I just need to paint them, change the door panel color, and all that's very easy to do, and it'll take a lot less time than fixing these. So I will fix these and paint them in a future episode, but for right now, we'll just get those half doors looking good, and then we'll throw them on here. So that means they'll have two sets of doors, so you're welcome, Mom and Dad. The hood needs a little bit of work. It has the most dents on it. It's going to take a little bit, and I also have a way to fix the middle part right there. Going to do that too. For the fenders, I still haven't found any OEM ones. Worst case, I'm just going to paint the inside of these and then throw them back on, and then eventually I'll get them some OEM ones. I have to find these OEM ones today if I want to do that. If not, then I'm just going to have to fix these up and throw them back on. I thought about painting everything yellow, even the black, but I just don't know how that's going to look. I don't think it'll look very good. And then I have the grill and the cowl to paint, and along with the doors and the hood and everything. All that has to get done here in the next 2 days. We're still on a time crunch, so let's go ahead and get this thing out of here and work on the rest of it. Got a lot more to do. Doors look awesome, grill, hood, everything turned out really great. As you can see, I put a couple holes in the hood to get rid of the dent. That's the only reason I did that. But the plate I got for it is actually gonna help with cooling off the engine a little bit more. I don't think it's necessary for this Jeep because they're not off-roading a lot, but I think it looks pretty cool and it definitely looks better than the dent in the hood. But everything else went smoothly. The paint turned out awesome in all these. I have no runs in any of them. I was a little rusty for the body, but all this is getting way better. We are on a serious time crunch now. I have maybe 7 hours to get this thing fully back together and ready for my parents. They get home around 2 o'clock today. It's currently 8 o'clock. So let's go ahead and stop wasting time again and just start throwing stuff on there. Let's get it done. Okay, kind of rushing right now because they're on their way home. They're gonna be here in probably less than 10 minutes. It's not done, but it's put back together enough. I still have the top of the half doors. I have the frames for them all, and Rough Country sent me the top for it along with when we replaced this top. So thank you to Rough Country for that. I'm gonna install that, but I don't have time right now. Right now, it's all back together for the most part. I still have some bolts I gotta bolt up. The turn signals still have to go on. Other than that, it's pretty much done. It looks good enough. So right now I'm gonna pull it back out, I'm gonna wash it, and I'm put it in the garage and hopefully kind of surprise them. Hopefully, we'll see how it works out. A little bit of context before I show off the surprise. They were a little late, so I was able to get a little bit more work done. I was able to put the half doors together and then also put the decals on the side. I was able to get that done before they arrived. There was still a little bit of work left to do, but it was together enough for the surprise. I told my parents the garage door wasn't working. It stopped working. I made up an excuse. So I got my dad to follow me into the garage, and that's where I surprised him first, and then I surprised my mom after that.
Oh, wow! No way! You know, I didn't think I was gonna like the yellow. Wow, that looks great. on there?
No.
No, I didn't think so. Wow. That looks great, Zach. Aw, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I can't believe you had time to do that. That just looks amazing.
Wow! That looks great! You little liar, you.
I'm a pretty good liar.
Doesn't that look amazing?
Wow. That looks so good. What do you think, Zach?
Great.
I mean, I did it.
Put this on.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it looks awesome.
Got the half doors.
Where'd you get these doors?
Those are off the parts cheap.
Oh, yeah?
I was not fully convinced I could be able to do this, but I got it done, and I think the outcome is awesome. Everything didn't go to plan. I was planning on putting new fenders on and kind of converting it back to a stock look, but I think the outcome is really awesome, and more importantly, my parents like it a lot. So this is their Jeep, so whatever they like, that goes. After the surprise, I told my dad I had a little bit more work to do on it, so he came out there and he helped me finish it up. I told Rough Country I was going to surprise my parents with a new paint job, so they sent me out a few extra things, such as the hydraulic hood assist. It's pretty nice, super easy to install too. Along with that, they also sent a new sun mesh for the top. They also sent some new light switches that we haven't installed yet. The current lights are just hooked up to a tiny little switch in there, so once we hook that up, they can run a bunch of different kinds of lights if they want to. My dad helped me install that and finish putting it back together. Just a few extra bolts in the front end I needed to put on. I love my parents a lot. I wish I could do a lot more for them. They have supported me and my whole YouTube journey from the very start. They have given me a lot. I can't thank them enough. And this is just one little way that I could surprise them and help them, because I know what they want and I have the ability to do it. So why not do it? The paint job turned out awesome. The surprise was a success, and I'm very happy with how it turned out, and they're ecstatic with how it turned out. Huge thank you to the sponsors: Eastwood for sending the primer and the base coat and all the paint, Rough Country for sending the soft top along with the half door tops, and along with that all the other extra goodies such as the hood, the mesh top, and the light switches. So huge thank you to them. And lastly, thank you to Vivo for sending the air hoses so I can paint all this. Huge thank you to them. Their links are in my description. You guys can check them out. If you guys enjoyed this video, you can hit that like button along with commenting down below. I also have an Instagram and a TikTok. You guys can check those out too if you want to. If not, I will catch you in the next episode back on the pontoon boat. If you didn't know, I'm building a really cool pontoon boat. You should check that out. See you next episode. Bye.